Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, we're going to react to the top 10 viral challenges that got people killed. I just imagine how the family, the friends, the people who care about someone, how they would feel knowing that they lost somebody due to a viral sensation. I remember there used to be a few years ago this trend where people would climb up to the top of really tall buildings and just take selfies of themselves. It was just insane. Such dangerous situations just for Instagram likes and whatever else they think they would get out of it. I guess if you get pleasure out of it, then fine. Who am I to say what you should do with your time? But there's just the risk reward is just not worth it. You could easily die. So this video, I'm sure it's gonna it's gonna be crazy.
He tried to eat the chip. I started to get a stomach ache.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at 10 viral challenges and trends that caused or were linked directly or indirectly to people's deaths.
Yesterday, this latest fad claimed its first life.
Hot water challenge. Drinking hot water
boiling
isn't necessarily
water?
dangerous. However, this was on a different level of unsafe.
She was just a happy kid.
In 2018, a viral challenge spread in which participants would either pour boiling water on someone or drink boiling water through a straw. This resulted in Indianapolis 15-year-old Kylan Clark suffering second-degree burns.
To see my baby all burnt up like that, it was heartbreaking.
Even more tragically, it also reportedly caused the death of 8-year-old Florida girl Kiari Pope. After drinking boiling water, reportedly on a dare from a cousin, Pope was hospitalized, damaging her mouth and throat.
LaToya says Kari lost her ability to talk, but kept her spunk.
She can still be let you know how she felt and what was going on. She still smiled through whatever she went through.
5 months later, Pope experienced breathing difficulties and became unconscious.
Oh, no.
She died 40 minutes later at the hospital. Car surfing.
Oh my God, absolutely horrible. Who would look at a boiling water and drink that? I guess she was a young kid. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, imagine the pain.
This dangerous act has been around since long before the days of social media, but it's a trend with unfortunate longevity.
Douglas County deputies actually caught a couple of kids, teenagers, out here on C-470, out on the highway.
Car surfing involves riding on the outside of a car or other vehicle being driven by someone else. Though participants might think this is a harmless way to play daredevil, it is completely unsafe under any circumstances.
A very dangerous and life-threatening activity. Don't give in to the peer pressure.
In 2023, a 16-year-old in Colorado died after sustaining intense injuries when the car he was hanging out the back window of rolled over. And that's by no means an isolated incident. And even when car surfing incidents aren't fatal, they can still lead to devastating outcomes, as was the case for another 16-year-old, Hannah Huntoon from Florida.
Make smart decisions, don't car surf.
One chip challenge.
Why was she wearing the cap, the helmet? Maybe she had a brain injury and they had to open up the skull. Oh, man, just terrible.
Spicy food can be tough to handle, but this challenge took it to a new extreme.
We got the Pocky One Chip Challenge.
Beginning in 2016, Amplify snack brands promoted the One Chip Challenge for their brand Pocky. For this challenge, participants would eat a tortilla chip flavored with the extremely spicy Carolina Reaper and Naga Viper peppers.
It's so hot, some people use gloves to protect their skin.
I would go nowhere near that. I spicy food, I don't mind it from time to time, but I've heard the Carolina Reaper is absolutely scorchingly hot.
The intense heat from the chip resulted in medical attention needed for some. In 2023, Harris Wollabaugh, a Massachusetts 14-year-old, took part in the challenge. After eating the chip, he experienced intense stomach pains and died a few hours later. As a result of this tragedy, Pocky pulled the product from shelves and ended their promotion for it.
They expressed condolences to the Wollabaugh family. They also said while the product continues to adhere to food safety standards, out of an abundance of caution, we are actively working with retailers to remove the product from the shelves.
Neck nominating. Drinking games might just seem like a fun way to loosen up, but they can have tragic results, as shown by this challenge.
Neck Nominate. It's a dangerous game involving drinking, and it may be putting young people in harm's way.
Neck nominating, which started in New Zealand and made its way to other countries, involves nominated participants filming themselves attempting to down a pint of an alcoholic drink in a single gulp.
Neck nominations can be a good time and fun and laughs and everything until people go overboard and get hurt.
At least 5 deaths have been linked to this challenge, with victims typically drinking copious amounts of beverages with high alcohol contents in a short amount of time.
In this game, they're sometimes mixing other things in with the alcohol, and the side effects of that, you have no way to predict.
These tragedies serve as an intense reminder as to why proper alcohol safety is so important. Ice Bucket Challenge.
Man, this reminds me of a, stupid thing I did when I was in uni. I was like 19 or something. So it was me, a few mates, like we'd run out of, we were having vodka and Coke. We'd run out of Coke, like Coca-Cola, and we were leaving for the club in 10, 15 minutes. So we didn't have time to go to the store. So, I just said, let me just down half a glass of vodka, like a pint glass. I'd already had a few drinks already. So, we're talking about like this much worth of vodka. I don't even remember getting into the club. I just remember waking up in bed covered in vomit. Apparently my friend who didn't come out had to come and pick me up because I'd been kicked out of the club. I was wearing one of those foil jackets because I was shivering. Just absolutely terrible.
You may have fond memories of participating in the Ice Bucket Challenge in 2014, helping to raise money and spread awareness for ALS. But that same year, the challenge was indirectly linked to a Scottish teen's death.
I think they were trying to do some sort of act with that, and then just obviously you know what happened after that, you know what I mean?
18-year-old Camlin Lancaster drowned after reportedly doing a variation of the challenge in which he jumped feet first into a flooded quarry, an act known as tombstoning.
Oh,
such a shame. I mean, such a shame. Like, he didn't have a bad bone in his body, and if anyone was going to do great things in his life, it would be him, definitely.
His body was found by emergency workers 4 hours later.
In a statement, they said, Cameron died in a tragic accident. His death is such a great loss. During his short life, he touched so many people with his friendliness, kindness, and thoughtful generosity of spirit.
This sadly wasn't the only death indirectly linked to this challenge. That same year, Willis Tapanya, a 40-year-old New Zealand man, died of a heart attack after having ice water poured on him before drinking a large quantity of bourbon. Planking.
God.
Another fad that was huge in the 2010s. Planking involves...
This is the thing, you would never think something just like pouring icy water over your head could be deadly. You just never know.
Participants lying horizontally on odd surfaces, such as on countertops or desks. For the most part, it was just a fun excuse for people to take some silly photos. However, some participants took the challenge too far, planking in rather unsafe situations. Acton Beale, a 20-year-old Australian man, died after falling from a 7-story balcony railing he was attempting to plank on.
Why? My understanding was that he had put his feet outside of the balcony and was preparing to lay on the balcony rail, and he overbalanced and fell to his death.
Among those who commented on this tragic death was then Australian Prime Minister Julia Gillard, who offered a crucial reminder about why it's so important to prioritize safety above all else.
Everybody likes a bit of fun, but focus has to be on keeping yourself safe first.
Happy slapping.
Man, imagine being like on the ground floor level and just seeing him just, oh my God.
Don't let the name fool you. There's nothing remotely happy about this 2000s
I remember
fad.
this.
Originating in the UK, happy slapping refers to attacking and filming unsuspecting victims with physical violence.
Basically, someone assaults a stranger while being recorded on a camera phone, hopefully creating a video that will go viral on the internet.
Violating someone's personal boundaries like this is not okay under any circumstances. And some of these incidents ended up going much further than slapping. Among those who were killed as a result of this challenge were 40-year-old bartender David Morley and 67-year-old retired care worker Akram Haq, both from London.
He died from his injuries a week later.
And there are sadly more fatal cases from there, as well as other disturbing happy slapping incidents.
My father's dead, and it's just a disgrace.
Benadryl challenge.
Because the happy slap thing, it would be basically videos of people like, slapping random people and filming it. Like, I didn't know anybody, was lost their life because of it. That's just absolutely terrible.
Any medication, even those available over the counter, need to be used responsibly. Sadly, Improper substance use can have terrible results, as was the case with the so-called Benadryl challenge. This challenge, started in 2020, involved participants consuming large amounts of the popular antihistamine, commonly available in pharmacies.
What's basically happening is they're taking multiple tablets and then trying to see if they hallucinate. And then the goal is to then share that hallucination in a vivid sense or talk about it afterwards.
In 2023, Jacob Stevens, a 13-year-old from Ohio, was filmed eating more than a dozen tablets by his friends. He then started seizing and was admitted to the ICU. After enduring intense brain damage and spending 6 days on a ventilator, he was taken off life support. That same year, Chloe Marie Phillips, a 15-year-old Oklahoma girl, reportedly died as a result of the same challenge.
Now a doctor offering this advice to parents.
Maybe keeping computers in public areas in the home so you can see that, taking their phones from them at night. So things like that to really limit the use when they're young.
Chroming.
Gosh. But the thing is, like, kids, they're quite smart when they want to be. Like, they've got ways of, you know, communicating with other people without their parents knowing and stuff. It's almost impossible really to fully monitor. And there's apps like Signal, you know, where, you know, if you don't have the authentication to get into the app, you just won't see the messages.
Inhaling chemicals from common household items is not a new trend. It's known under many names, including huffing, sniffing, and more recently, chroming. But no matter what you call it, it's incredibly dangerous, with numerous deaths reported.
People may die the first time they chrome, and there's no way of predicting who's at risk.
In 2023, Ezra Haynes, a 13-year-old Australian girl, took part in the chroming trend that had spread on TikTok.
Not just us, but all of her friends have to go through losing her as well. It's just, yeah, she's just one in a million.
After inhaling the chemicals from a deodorant can at a sleepover, Haynes went into cardiac arrest and experienced irrevocable brain damage. Following this devastating experience, her father Paul said it would be the family's crusade to help prevent this from happening to others.
They need to sit and have a chat to their children and see and just open that conversation up gently with them and let them know that they're there to support their children in any way, shape or form.
Before we continue,
to lose your kid, you know, in any circumstances is horrible, but like to lose them because of an internet fad.
be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Blackout challenge. Oxygen deprivation is one of the most dangerous things for someone to experience, but it was the purpose of this viral challenge.
If you see something online and you see people framing it as fun or a challenge or something interesting, you're sort of gamifying the particular thing and decreasing people's perception of the risks.
Those similar challenges have reportedly existed since the 90s. The blackout challenge spread via TikTok in 2021. Participants would try to suppress their breathing for extended periods with fatal consequences.
It's very hard for all of us.
At least 20 children have reportedly died from this challenge, many of whom were 12 or younger. TikTok was also served with multiple lawsuits related to the challenge.
We don't want no other children out there to be the statistics of this situation.
Though these suits were dismissed, the platform has blocked users for searching videos related to the challenge. Instead, a warning message is shown. What do you think should be done to prevent deaths from viral challenges? Let us know in the comments.
Super sad, you know. Do you blame the social media platforms? I guess at some level you do, because without the platform, the videos don't get shared and people don't then attempt the challenge. But on the other hand, if the platform does what it can to stop people sharing these challenges and people then circumvent the barriers that the platform has put in place, is it the social media platform's fault, or is it the people who are pushing the challenges onto the platforms? Is it their fault? It's just either way, it's sad because the outcome is still that somebody has died. It's just, I don't know what can be done. I really don't know what, aside from not allowing your kids to use these platforms, which if a kid wants to use it, they're going to find a way. Unless you stop them from using these platforms, I really don't know what can be done. What do you guys think? Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.